So we have two more categories before the main event. First up, it's the chance for best multiplayer game, a returning category, as I was
Sponsored
starting
by
to say
Sean
there.
McGee.
Yes, it did not exist last year. We just let Sean McGee award it to Apex Legends, I believe. Previous official winners in this category: 2015 Rocket League, in 2016 the Year of Ties, joint winner Jackbox Party Pack 3 and Overwatch. Can I just say Jackbox Party Pack still absolutely slaps to this day.
God, why were we all so stubborn 5 years? Like, fucking just pick one. Why were we all dying on hills left, right, and center?
Well,
yeah, but I know
we didn't have the poll. The
I guess so. Why didn't one of us just concede? My God.
Yeah. 2017 Splatoon 2, 2018 Gang Beasts, 2019 we also didn't award anything. 2020 was Fall Guys. So we're here now in 2022, and the person to take us through is going to be Jack.
Okay. Yes, this is probably the easiest.
Do you want to read the nominees, Dave?
Yes, I do. Sorry, I was in the middle of trying to type out the rest of them. Thanks, Barry. He's trying to do two things at once. Over
Jack's getting ready. Jack's got his finger on the trigger. He's ready to get someone.
Our nominees are Splatoon 3, Windjammers 2, Elden Ring, Switch Sports, Mario Strikers Battle League, Rumbleverse, Marvel Snap, Multiversus, Shredder's Revenge, Halo Infinite. Jack, you have the floor.
Switch Sports is getting the bullet.
Yeah. There is one good thing about that game, and it is the Battle Royale bowling. That's pretty cool.
The football is quite cool.
I really like the sword game. I feel like that has a kind of good responsiveness to it.
Sounds like every game is loved here. Maybe it stays.
Yeah, it's like maybe all the sports are good.
But I also only played that thing for about a week.
There's no depth there. There's just no depth in it whatsoever.
None. The cultural zeitgeist that was the original Wii Sports did not follow through to Switch Sports.
Okay. It has golf now, though.
It does now just have golf. Which
I haven't played.
I mean, even, I think back to like Wii Sports Resort, because I bought I bought a Wii about 6 months ago, and it had a bunch of things. And one of the things it had,
of course, you did. You had a week off from buying PSPs, mate, was it?
Yeah, pretty much. And I got Wii Sports Resort, and I was playing through this, and I even remember at the time that I got Wii Sports Resort, and I was just like, in some ways, this probably is better and does have more content in here. But I was like, there's just something about that moment with Wii Sports that you can't just recapture again, even if you actually do like bolt on so many more modes. There's just something about that original Wii Sports package that you just can't replicate again. And to be fair, they didn't even bother with Switch Sports. It's astonishingly lacking for the price the fucking thing was at launch as well.
I'm starting to wonder how it was nominated. Whatever, like ads.
It's still a fun little multiplayer thing.
Yeah, the individual parts aren't bad. And I think the thing that caused them to like just throw this out without having to put single player is like online multiplayer, where they're like, if you played any of these sports with friends, you'd have a good time. You would. But if you're just sitting there by yourself trying to play it, you'd be like, oh.
I didn't play this game, but one thing I will say about its inclusion on this category, I think I did float the idea of bringing this category back. I think it was just nice to look at. There was a nice list of multiplayer games this year. Is what I kind of wanted to.
I think there was. We will talk about it at some stage in this category. I think there was one game in particular that almost single-handedly brought this category back, and it's a very strong contender in here. But we will talk about it. I think we all know what it is, but we'll get to it in due course. Mark, you're up next.
This might come as a swerve, but at this moment in time, I don't really consider Marvel Snap to be a multiplayer game.
That was my thing. Yeah, it's not really a multiplayer.
It will be. It's coming, but it's not there yet. So just because you can play online against other people, I don't really consider that multiplayer.
There is a certain appeal to once you've played a couple of games and you're kind of out of the bot farm territory. There is a certain thrill from outwitting an actual person. Yeah, that AI will never be able to replicate in the card game. But I totally agree, which is that if they had added private or friend-based matchmaking, my God, this thing will get a second wave of undeniable hype, but it's not there yet.
I mean, I could see like this time next year that there's a solid case. This is going to be not
next year's old game.
Certainly just looking at the roadmap and what they're planning to do with it.
There's also the cranky old man part of me is literally a way so far already is the way to do a multiplayer game with literally the minimal amount of actually talking or interacting with other people as possible,
Yes.
which is a huge boon to me, generally speaking. But yeah, cool. Marvel Snap is one that, like, if I had been playing it for longer, maybe I'd fight harder. I'm really deep in the well at the moment. I really, really think that game is great.
But again, it's so much stronger in a bunch of other areas, but it doesn't actually have a multiplayer mode. As far as like, depending on how you want to kind of define what multiplayer is, like technically, yes, you are playing against other people, but
for category, I was kind of like torn about putting it forward for best looking, because like there's great art on all those cards, but that's also great art lifted wholesale from like the comics. Like they're literally drawings from like different comics over the years.
I did put a shout for Yondu as best character because I have literally one game.
I love Yondu.
You also, I think, for perhaps the second time, nominated Cosmo from a different, like, because Cosmo was nominated last year for Guardians. He's in Good as Boy. He's in Good as Boy again this year. So Cosmo makes it. It's the Cosmo category.
and Bidoof every single year.
And if there was, if there was like, as opposed to best music, if there was best sound design, I think you're finding it hard to beat Snap.
Frame break.
Gaming moment of the
There's
year.
one of those that's kind of lame. Is it the one 3D?
No, what about shiny logo?
Yes, that's the one.
Shiny logo. You can't say shiny and be serious. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Okay. Next up is me. Love this game to bits, but again, as somebody who's a fundamentally single player guy, and thinking that this one doesn't necessarily add a huge amount to the table for me compared to other of its type, I'm going to go for Elden Ring.
Yeah, like the coolest thing about this game was that
you get
invite
like
people into your game to like double team bosses,
and you can invade and be invaded, which is
it created, I think, the best multiplayer story this year, which was the Let Me Solo guy.
Oh my god, yeah.
Who was like the mythical figure, the guy who like just appeared in people's games. He was wearing like a pot in his head, he was naked. And he'd show up for the hardest boss in the game, Melania, like really difficult. And his screen name would be Let Me Solo over his head. And he'd just appear in the game and you'd stand in the corner and he'd beat the boss for you. And it was like this mythical story going around the internet until IGN found the guy and interviewed him. And it was one of those like wonderful little things. I agree, like take it out for multiplayer. It's a nice little feature in the game.
Also, you got to say the amount to which the, like, more so than any of the other FromSoft games, the whole like the traditional leaving notes for other players, the degree to which that became a cottage industry. The like, I don't know if I would have been, is this dog and tri-finger butthole.
It's still good. It's still good.
It's still great.
Yeah, I was like, I actually mentioned this in my written blog. It's like the elevator pitch of what if a Souls game was open world doesn't do justice to how well those concepts mesh, because along with all the jokes, like the notes that people would often leave to fuck with you or help you are like 100% more prescient, and I read all of them because it's an open world game and the possibilities are endless. And so I'm like really genuinely curious, and most of the time they've been super helpful. It's been avoiding ambushes and getting hidden items,
and as well, because of the way like the voting on the notes works, you're eliminating most of the leading you down a bad path notes that some people might try to leave.
Just enough of not all. Just enough of like,
which is
secret ahead and you walk off a cliff.
Yes.
It is great. And I love that, like, it's a completely different kind of multiplayer to everything else on this list. Like the concept of leaving notes back and forth. But I don't think it wins, but I will say brace yourself for 2023 game of the year, because I think it might come back up in this category and old game, because they're putting in like PvP arenas.
And like I just remember having that moment where it's like one of the most helpful multiplayer moments of all the year, where I'm like in that swamp in the ruins. Is it the Gatefront ruins? Right? No, it's some ruins. It's where the first dragon is in Limgrave, the ruins beside him.
Yes.
And there's two staircases down under, and there's always like a chest in those ruins with something in it. And you go all the way down. They're identical looking tunnels. One of them has rats in it, one of them doesn't, and you go up to the chest, but there's a note beside the chest that warns you that it's one of the only surprise transporters in the game, and it will drop you into fucking Caelid, into a mine in the middle of Caelid. So if that's something you really don't want, you read the note and you've avoided what I imagine would be an ungodly traumatizing moment very early in the game.
I spent 45 getting out of that mine.
Oh, it's such a fucker.
Because you
like,
can't.
it's such
Because
a
that's the thing.
fucker.
Until you actually get out of the mine, you can't fast travel away from the mine, which is
they
another clever.
disable
Like,
fast travel. Such
now,
arseholes. Oh my god.
Once you figure out the way to go, you can pretty much sprint past everybody and get out in a couple of minutes. But it's trying to figure out what that path is, as well. And it can be there's something in that mine that's really, or near that mine that's really helpful to get early in the game. I can't remember what it is.
Some weapon or something. I vaguely recall what you're on. Yeah.
But yeah, so Elden Ring can go, but like there definitely was some cool moments, and Trifinger butthole. Every time it got me. I must have seen it over 100 times, and it got me every single fucking time.
And dog on every animal.
Yeah, dog.
By the way, trapped in a mine for 45 minutes. I just sound so painful.
But I got out of the mine and felt good about myself.
There is a certain adrenaline rush as you try to, in your low powered state, get out of somewhere where you really should not be. Even I, because I had that happen on stream.
Yeah.
Because I remember I went up to the chest and I said to Sean, I was like, "Look, are mimics in this game?" And he went, "No, not mimics, but something worse."
He knew what it was.
Yeah. So I was going to say, Jack, if you don't like chests doing what they're not supposed to, I wouldn't play any of the older FromSoft games, because some chests used to just randomly eat you. This one just transports you somewhere that's a bit tricky to get out of.
I'm gonna go play Power Wash Simulator again.
You're next, Garrett.
For the exact same reason as Switch Sports, the cool mechanics but ultimately no depth, Mario Strikers.
Yeah, kind of an honorary ham sandwich, if we're being honest.
I
almost like disappointment as well, because like when you play, it's like the core of the mechanics, the core of like drop kicking players into each other for momentum. All that stuff is pretty cool, but there's no depth there.
I played that demo and I was like, "Oh, dude, this might rock. This game might fucking rock when it comes out."
I feel like I got everything out of that game I was expecting
in 2 hours.
No, I probably played a good kind of 10 hours of it. I feel like I'm in a bit of an advantage because I have a housemate with me and he got into a bunch of it as well. So I had someone to actually play like a bunch of local co-op.
Again, it goes back to the Switch Sports thing. If you sit on the couch with somebody to play it, it's a good time.
And that's going to be my same thing with Windjammers as well when we talk about that. Like, I was very fortunate with that.
It's the advantage another one of these games on the list has for me as well. So I totally get that. But yeah, we can see it go, I think. Who have we got next? Barry.
I think I the only person who plumped for Halo. Mark, you didn't even touch the multiplayer in that, did you?
Honestly, I'm kind of like, I feel like this is on here just as default, but the multiplayer aspects of Infinite has been a fucking mess this year, and there's still a year later a bunch of things that were meant to be that aren't there.
I feel bad for, not in this category, but I feel bad for Halo Infinite in general, because it came out in between the closing of our list last year and the start of the game of the year. It came out in December last year. And I actually thought that campaign rocked.
The campaign's awesome.
I had a great time with it, and I thought it was like more challenging than I'd found a Halo game in a long, long time.
Yeah.
It looked great, felt great, sounded great, played great. But it's just a victim of being like 12 and a half months ago.
I actually haven't played the campaign yet. It's just
really good, dude.
Constantly been overshadowed. I do want to get to it, but I played the multiplayer. I kind of wanted that to be my podcast game, and I'm not a big Halo guy, but in my limited experience, when I kind of know what I want out of a Halo experience, and I just found the maps not that great. They're kind of closed in and not near. I feel like I got more of a open, fast, thrilling Halo experience from Splitgate last year or something like that, which is doing like bootleg Halo meets bootleg Portal, but like obviously made from like real passionate fans. And again, being a very casual Halo guy, I played the maps on Infinite. Like these kind of feel like Call of Duty maps. They're closed and they're limited, and I don't feel like I'm bouncing around like Master Chief. I don't feel like I'm getting the back of the box Halo moment from this multiplayer. So I didn't have a terrible time with it, but it did not scratch the Halo itch, so we can.
But is it also not complete madness that the game did not launch with the co-op campaign mode, and it's still not there?
Still not there. It's I don't know what's going. Maybe it's kind of some kind of sunk cost fallacy, but I don't know how for the next chapter, if they want there to be more Halo, which I assume they do because they're doing TV shows. I don't know how they don't put a different team on that, because I think this team have had more than enough goes to try and make it work. And based on what I understand of the fan community reaction, it's been a whiff every time. And this has arguably been the biggest whiff of them all.
Yeah.
In terms of launching broken and missing modes and just shitty roadmaps. Anti Hitman, anti Fortnite style roadmaps where everything's late and wrong.
And the biggest potential, because it's on
Halo.
Game Pass. And it's on Halo.
It's on Game Pass. Yeah.
Yeah,
that speaks to like Microsoft's year as a whole, though, doesn't it? When you like they came out of last year, everyone was like, Forza, great. Halo, people were having a good time with the single player at the time, and obviously Psychonauts, which swept all these categories. And like Microsoft last year, very good time, and like Game Pass still best value in all of gaming. But their first party, whatever's going on in like what their development side of the house. It's a weird time over at Xbox.
They sure can get games to you, but they can't fucking make them for love nor money. And they have all the money to do it. It's just like, why don't we just buy studios?
And all the studios, they
games?
bought 75 of them. Surely some of them put some games out.
Yeah. It's like, instead, let's take the heat off ourselves. Let's buy Bethesda. They're technically Microsoft games now. Microsoft first party. Woo! Let's come back around to Jack.
See, I think there's obviously, I'm going to upset somebody with whatever I take off here. I want to take off just because they teased something that I don't think they did. Barry, can you answer me if they put Big Chungus into Multiversus or not?
I think it's in there as an emote or something. I think Bugs Bunny. Oh, you know what? I think this was on one of the battle passes I didn't play. I think it's like a skin. I think it's not its own unique character. I can't believe I'm talking about this. I don't think Big Chungus is his own character in Multiverse. I think it's a outfit you can put on Bugs Bunny, or it's an emote he can do or something.
Therefore, it's cut.
All right, we gotta cut
Big Chungus.
Get it out of here. Multiversus is perhaps one of the most surprising games of the year. I cannot believe what I can believe it, but like I did my PlayStation wrap up thing, and it's like my third most played game on PS5 all year.
Same.
I've never been
one game of it, and I was like, no, because I don't like Smash either. But I appreciate.
I've never been a Smash guy. I've never been a Smash. Smash Ultimate in particular, I was like, I don't get this shit. I don't get it. And then I was like, okay, I'll play this because it looks really fucking stupid and weird. And I kind of won the draw and got access to the alpha before it was like really widely available. I was like, all right, let's give this a go. And something about it, I was just like, this is really good.
The character selection, or is it something?
It's the characters you like. I think it's the same. It's a slightly worse version of Smash. I don't like Smash. I think I kind of never enjoyed Smash. But this, I played one game. But it's like, I get it, and I appreciate there's a ton of detail that goes into the characters. I'm a little disappointed, like stages and music. I don't think they draw enough from the well there. But the characters, there's tons of detail, like the fact that Tom and Jerry are always fighting each other despite being like one character themselves. There's so many, like Velma's entire moveset being like logical thinking. Tons of great details in the characters, but a little disappointed like stage and music side of things.
I totally agree, because I bounced off kind of at like halfway through season 2, so maybe they've had it, but like there was like 3 stages in that game. Like I realize it's free to play and they want this to be a long leg, probably a 5-year thing or whatever. But yeah, I mean, for a IP laden, nostalgia laden product, I think they had to nail the music more than they did. But I mean, it's shockingly good, and I think the cast of characters is fun, even just on a character select screen. Like, oh my god, like Superman, Bugs Bunny, Batman, Rick and Morty, Tom and Jerry. Like, this is really cool. But also, they're like,
Jeez, I'll tell you what. If Justin Roiland loves anything, it's signing fucking merchandise.
Oh, he loves writing his name on bits of paper and then putting his hand out for money. But it's like, not only are they eclectic on the character selection, but like I think Multiversus is like experimental almost to a fault, where it's like, it's not just, oh, this is kind of an air character and this is a ground character. It's like I couldn't wrap my head around how to play as Taz. He's a really inscrutable character to me. Superman was like my main. He never touches the ground. I'm flying all over the place. Tom and Jerry, like Garrett was saying, their animations are constantly fighting each other, but the meta game of playing as them is that they're kind of doing projectiles and area of effect things because they're knocking each other all over the place. Like it's like, and then you have like quote unquote like Harley Quinn plays like a normal character. She plays like, you know, Mario in Smash. She's basically just close range punches and kicks and stuff like that. But like
she does have a hammer,
and she has a big hammer, which is a thing I love in games, as we've established. But like I think for they could have rested on their laurels and produced a really sloppy, crappy faux Smash game. But they
Nickelodeon did, by the way.
like Nickelodeon did this very same year. But like they really put the effort in and they produced something shockingly good. But I do not think it hangs about in this category. And I will say that I did not spend money on this one. I didn't spend money on this one. It is free to play.
I'm proud of you.
Just
I'm
have
what
to
was
so
check
that
in with you.
Nickelodeon one called exactly?
It was something
Nickelodeon All Stars
Battle-
something or other. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all because I remember joking. It was like the PlayStation one. It was All Star Battle or some shit like that. Yeah, I think that one came out with a thud, if I recall correctly.
Kenan and Kel in it.
Oh, that would have been great.
I thought they had it nailed when they announced Cat Dog was in it. I was like, oh yeah, that's great.
Cat Dog was in it.
With the
Cat
rendered
Dog was in it.
rejects in it.
Oh, amazing. Imagine. Right, next up is Mark.
I don't want to pick this on the basis that I want to make Barry. I want Barry to know that I had a very, very enjoyable time early this year playing through the entirety of Shredder's Revenge on a stream. One of my fondest moments of the year.
It was great.
I think it's an excellent local co-op game.
Yeah.
But it is just one of those. It is a local co-op game that you don't have to sink 1,000 fucking quarters into to beat.
I was a voter on this as well. And I think it was probably the most fun I've had playing local multiplayer all year. It's one that like it's just so simple to throw a controller in front of somebody and just play along with them. And it's like you said, it's just a really good one of those. Like we've already talked about going through the different categories, the elements of like just the visual style. It looks perfect. The colors just fucking pop off that thing. The soundtrack is exactly what you want from that. And it's kind of it's got enough to it that there's like, if you really want to put your time into it, you can like learn all the different moves and shit like that, or you could just like hammer away. Like if you're playing it with a younger person who just doesn't get that shit, like you can just mash your way through it and still have fun.
Yeah, those finishers are so overpowered in that game as well.
And just as somebody who was like, I think probably all of us, given we're all around the same age, was a massive fucking fan of the cartoon as well. It just gives you the warm fuzzies playing through it. So I love it. It's not my number one though. So
I think it would have been nice if there was just a little bit more variety in the level design.
I don't know, like it's what is it, 15 levels?
Yeah.
So like I think they're right for what they are. It's a quick breezy experience.
They are. I just think it would have been nice if because these types of like 2D beat 'em ups usually get the normal kind of like brawling levels, and then you'll have a couple of like auto scrolling sort of levels. But the auto scrolling, sometimes you're flying and sometimes you're in a suit or whatever. It'd be nice if there was something else to kind of mix with that. But that's a minor complaint against otherwise what is just an excellent package, an excellent presentation of a true and tested style of video game. It's a good time.
Yeah, because I was mentioning, I think, the last couple weeks ago that on my brother, the eve of my brother's wedding night, and he was a big Turtles guy. He's like 6 years older than me, so he was in like prime Turtles age range for when he was a wee lad. On the night before his wedding, we sat down and we played through like 8 or 9 levels of this. It was a very nice time.
Yeah. Right, I'm up next to make the final cut. I think I will do my good friend Barry a kindness here and take Windjammers too.
I mean, I do feel like I'm on an island with this one.
Yeah.
Look,
I love it too. I'm right up there with you on Windjammers, but when I look at the two games I like left on this list,
I get it.
There's fucking it's incalculable the distance between them.
And like with Windjammers 2, it is really as good as the online multiplayer is. It really is like that game is at its most. The kind of core elements of what make that game the best and most enjoyable is when you are doing it local co-op with someone else. And I had plenty of that time to do that this year, and like during those moments, like it's fucking A-tier stuff.
I mean, that's the core of the original game. It was an arcade game. You know?
Exactly.
It's already gone, Barry. Stop pissing on the corpse.
No, I'm bigging it up. I'm saying that's great.
Yeah.
That's what's great about it. You know, I think that's
good.
I
Little...
think I'm not saying good little game for if you like sitting on your little couch and playing a little bit. I'm not doing that.
That's great that you had a good time, Mark.
I'm not doing that. I am not doing that, sir. How dare you, sir?
Hey, he played GoldenEye. He understands.
That's right.
Right, so we're left with a shootout here between
I don't know how much of a shootout it's going to be. To be honest.
Rumbleverse and Splatoon.
Like, I mean, I actually,
I don't think there's another category that was like veering toward a pure coronation.
I
don't
like Rumbleverse. I don't.
So
I don't.
Let's okay.
Before Barry does the because I'm a Splatoon guy. That's patently obvious. I played one game of Rumbleverse. I won that game of Rumbleverse. Fair enough, it might have been bots. It might have been, I don't care. I won the game because the last person I played was like exceptionally stupid. So it was either a bot or just a very dumb 4-year-old child who somehow got to the end. But I appreciate what it does. I don't think it does enough like really groundbreaking and new, but I loved like the climbing something high and leaping down onto unsuspecting strangers and bashing them on the head. Really cool. That's tons of fun.
So Barry, make your impassioned plea, and then we can all just stop fucking about.
I don't think I have that much of an impassioned plea. I think Garrett kind of very succinctly summed it up. Like I think you know the idea of doing a brawl or a battle royale is probably some much needed freshness for that genre, but also it could have easily been shite because those mechanics are not implemented properly. I think it's a good balance of luck and kind of skill. And I think the impact of everything you do in that game is really cool. Like one thing I gushed about a lot when I was streaming is I love that that verticality is a mechanic, because while it is incredibly sick that you can chokeslam someone off of a building, it's even sicker that the higher you are, the more damage it does. So if you get lucky and you grab someone off the highest building in the game, and you're lucky enough to line the slam up where you fly off the building, you're KOing that person. Doesn't matter how big their health bar is. You're taking them out. Like it's immense. It's immensely satisfying. I think even as someone who does really love this game, I'm not going to put up too much of a fight for it. I also have some bugbears about it. I do like, I mentioned Splitgate earlier. This is something I did with that. I kind of like to, if I'm enjoying a free-to-play game, I kind of like to say, look, I'll just buy the battle pass just to give them something, right? The game's free, so I'll just buy it. The cosmetics in that game are not nice enough. I think the general vibe and the lucha-inspired aesthetic of it's pretty good, but most of the items I look at in the shop, I'm like, oh god, these are like I would literally be buying this stuff just as a nice donation to the developers. I think if you're gonna work in the free to play space, I think you need to have really cool cosmetics, and they don't. So that knocked them back a bit for me. But I think super strong core. I don't know how popular it is. It seemed to come out pretty hot. I don't know how well it's doing. I hope it has enough momentum to sustain itself for another couple of years, because I think the core mechanics of it are pretty good. But it's
who knows if I was playing with bots, but I had no problem finding a match in seconds when I played it the other day. So.
Yes, it seems to be doing okay. It seems to certainly be doing okay. Yeah, but
will Epic survive if it doesn't work?
But that's it. I mean, my boys at Epic. I mean, can we just pour one out? I mean,
I'm surprised they haven't like cut side deals that like if you want X character in Fortnite, you also have to give us Y character for Rumbleverse. Just I assume they could leverage Fortnite to push.
That's
more
like
into
the
Rumbleverse.
right kind of cynical that it is surprising it hasn't been done.
I do remember when I was streaming it. Our pal Ziggs did say, he said AEW should get on this. They should get on this fucking thing because they have put fans, which is true.
Put Hulk in one Rumbleverse.
Put Hulk in Rumbleverse. Like just put all your dudes in there. It's like it's a niche game, but their fans would eat it up.
I thought you were going to be like, we've got John Cena of Fortnite, so we'll have B squared, Ball Buchanan, and
right. Like I said, let's stop fucking about. Let's give this game the coronation it's due. This is the most unilateral. Like this category is basically back, so we could give it to this game. Let's not pretend.
Where else can you watch me paint a beautiful canvas every 3 minutes for about 4 hours?
For over a month solid, almost every night of my life was sitting on a 2 to 4 hours Zoom with some combination of Mark, Jack, and Garrett playing this game. I just never got bored of it. The only thing that stopped is we would still be doing it now, were not for the fact that we all got busy as shit. Like, I would go back if you guys said afterwards, in spite of how fucking tired we are, if you guys like, do you want to stick on for an hour after this and play Splatoon? I'd be like, absolutely. It's so Moorish in terms of like how quick you get back into a game, how like they give you the kind of like the piecemeal upgrades. So you always feel like there's a goal you're heading towards. You also feel like there isn't too harsh a punishment for absolutely shitting it in a round. And we
did shit it in some rounds.
Yeah, you always feel great winning, and you never feel too bad losing. Everything is quick, everything is fun. And then when you add the layer of if you go into random matchups and stuff like that, you're still gonna have fun. And I've definitely done that a good bit myself. But like when you're hopping on a call and not using the dumbass Nintendo app to do it, you're doing it on like a proper app where you can chat to people and you're hanging out with your pals and doing it. Like I've laughed longer and harder at the shit we were saying, the trash we were talking to random Japanese children that were, by the way, we were talking this trash and they were fucking us up big time. Yeah. Like we had realized very quickly, like if somebody's got like Japanese characters in their name, we're fucked. When we played this game. But all the stuff we've talked about earlier, like between the music, how like something we talked about, Garrett, actually in particular, to bring you in on this chat, is how they have timed the art of this game right. Is like literally if you gave us half an hour less or half an hour more with these maps before refreshing the maps, you get sick of it. Right when you go, Jesus, we've played this map quite a few times, they change it. It's every 2 hours, isn't it? And it just like everything changes enough, and each set of opponents you face are just different enough that you don't tire of it. It's just again, you're talking about like at least 3 of us of the 4 of us that were doing this every night are not fucking multiplayer guys at all. And yet there we were.
Yeah, you mentioned the map thing, because that was a controversial thing in the first Splatoon, and they refined it. It used to be every 4 hours, which is like that is too long. But I do like the idea of like they stick the maps there for 2 hours. They don't rotate them every time you play. It's like it's 2 maps for 2 hours and then another 2 maps for 2 hours. So you get used to learning the corners of the map, learning the blind spots, learning where everyone kind of funnels toward, and then where you can kind of sneak in behind. And then, as you said, perfect timing. You're like, all right, I kind of bored of this one. Oh, new ones. And like we only really played Turf War while we were doing those long streams. Like when they released the new maps, which they released about 2 weeks ago, it was only currently available in the Splat Zones mode, which is also just a phenomenal mode. It is like just capture an area and hold the area for 100 seconds. I think it is great fun. Rainmaker, not named after Okada, but he's still in there. Also fantastic mode. The Salmon Run, fantastic mode. The only one I don't really like is the Clam Blitz one, like the collecting the clams to make American football. I think that one's kind of mediocre.
Yeah,
but like the rest of the modes in this game, just so good.
It's one of those where like even just the standard, like is just I wouldn't, if that was all that was in it, I wouldn't have played it any less. And they added all this
and like I've been playing this since the original like Turf, like the server test for the first one. So when I played that for the first time, I was like, oh, they've got something real good here. Like this 4-on-4 Turf War mode is just perfect. It's perfect. It's just the perfect 3-minute bites of gameplay. I will forever love the fact that you never really know when you're winning unless you're really hammering somebody. And like you do have momentum swings at least 2 or 3 times within those 3 minutes. And when you get to the ones where they're like real 50-50 close calls, real right down to the edge of, and you know, they do the thing where the bar goes back and forth before it tells you the final result. I love that. It's such good stuff. And like you could argue all of this stuff was in Splatoon 2, which maybe a little fair, but also it still rules in Splatoon 3, and there's enough new weapons and maps and specials. By the way, we have to mention, like, where Reef Slider got a moment of the year nod. There was the robot gives you the thing with jig, which also rules, and I very much enjoy.
The jetpack's cool.
Yeah, the jetpack's cool. You can have a grappling hook, which I never used, but seemed pretty cool.
Oh,
The
Um,
one thing, I do wish the lobby was just a little less convoluted.
I got two things like
Yeah,
because
the menu
we can't
sucked.
just praise. Yeah, this is what I was going to say. Firstly, my eternal annoyance that, and yes, this has been the case, but that it's still the case that whatever team you pick at the Splatfest, you don't get to keep the gear. I would love to have a nice wardrobe full of teamed gear from all the Splatfest to show all the teams I picked. That would be lovely. The other thing is, although it did provide me perverse entertainment for quite a few hours the first couple of nights we did it, but particularly Jack's quarrels with the menus in the game.
There was one time where he pretended the option wasn't there. He's like,
Yeah.
you will have two choices, Jack. Pick one. And he's like, the choice wasn't there. It's like, the choice was absolutely there, Jack.
Yeah, like me and Mark were kind of just like, no, we're not going to say anything. Jack's having a moment here, but Garrett was like, I did not even hesitate for a second. It's like,
He was
option
right.
was there, Jack. It was
The thing
there.
is, I just don't have the time to read. There's just so much
I
bullshit.
don't
in the
read
menus.
shit.
I still don't know where the locker is in that game, by the way. Can someone tell me where the locker is? Where
right
my bull-
beside where you go into
It's
the
in
lobby.
the revolving doors in your lobby.
Yeah. Do you know where you go into the lift to go
Or
down
the-
into the
Yeah.
matches? It's like literally, if you're looking at that to the right hand side of it, up a couple of stairs, a door slides
Oh.
open. It's in there. Yeah.
I kept looking around because I get the occasional pop up going. I don't know where that's
And
going. Where's it going? I don't know where it is.
There's stuff you find as well. Like you would be forgiven for playing hours and hours of that game and never finding where the card game is, which I still haven't played.
I've never played
I
it.
also don't know
I
where
haven't
that
played
is.
it.
My
I have no
general
idea where
policy
that
on
is.
card games is upheld in this in Splatoon. But again, for the card perverts, it's there. You know, like good for you, lads.
It does look more like Tetris than cards, so that might swing in your
Yeah.
favor. Maybe not Jack.
perhaps.
I love Tetris.
Okay, so
Splatoon 3 is winning this by the sounds of it, eh?
the best.
Let's go to a vote.
Let's go to a vote. Yeah, do you know what? Let's go through with this farce. Jack,
Yeah, Splatoon 3.
Mark.
Big man represent.
I will also vote Splatoon 3. Garrett.
Let it be known on the Game of the Year doc, Dave has already read it out Rumbleverse,
foregone
but I will
conclusion.
vote for Splatoon 3.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Barry. That's why I felt a little bit better about it because I kept it on my go so it could get second place. But
Splatoon 3 is a lovely game, and I'm glad the spirit of this award has been conveyed in the previous conversation that you all just shared. I will give a runner up prize to Rumbleverse so it doesn't get swept.
yeah. Oh, do you know what? Over the Christmas, let the 5 of us play.
All right.
Well, it's a four-person.
Yeah, I know.
four-player
So
game,
we can get a couple more people and have 2 teams.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. So the best multiplayer game for 2022 is Splatoon 3.
Technically retaining the award for Splatoon, by the way.
As I go, that's what I was gonna say. It's the first. Is it the first in any category where 2 entries from the same franchise have won an award?
No, Gears of War 4 and 5.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry.
sorry,
Oh, damn.
sorry. Apologies. Have won a good award.
Yes, probably yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the fan poll now. So bear with me here as Google Docs just refreshes because it feels like it. I feel like I'm going to be surprised if it's any other answer than Splatoon 3. Because I feel like
by virtue of reach, maybe Marvel Snap will penetrate more.
I just think like depending on how many are regular listeners, we may have successfully indoctrinated enough to swing this vote. But let's find out.
But by the way, Hitman won and Hitman came third in the Game of the Year, Hitman 3. So that's closest.
That's all right. Yeah.
Okay, where is it here? Oh yeah, sorry, it wasn't in order on our sheet. So I can give you a top 4. So in 4th place with 7.3% of the vote, Elden Ring. In 3rd place with 14.6% of the vote, Marvel Snap. In 2nd place with 17.1% of the vote, Shredder's Revenge.
Okay, very good.
And with a stonking 36.6% of the vote, Splatoon, baby.
Quit now,
Victory
kid
is
now,
ours.
We
forever.
the people.
We have reached oneness with the people.